Welcome. Today's topic is going to be about overcoming fears. Let me just adjust my camera a little bit. Yeah, this is all new to me. Sorry, hang on. Okay. So, today's topic that was on my heart is overcoming fears, whether they are big or small. So something that I really had to work through, and I'm continuously obviously working through because there's always so many limiting beliefs and fears, is just doing things and deciding to go after my fears and just embracing them through repetition. So one of the things that I did before is, and this started since I was a little girl, and even it continued throughout high school and through college. I'm still afraid of this, but I'm literally trying to embrace it right now, is I am terrified of public speaking. To give you an example of how terrified I am of public speaking, I just did not have any good experiences with it in high school. Maybe it's because I just didn't know the language very well. This English is my second language, and so I had multiple classes that I had to present in school, and I just never felt that I was a natural at it. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way even if they speak English, so that made it extra hard for me, or at least that's what I told myself. But even throughout college, to give you a little glimpse of how afraid I was and how afraid I still am of public speaking, but I'm overcoming this fear. It is not going to be my fear. I literally avoided classes in college that required public speaking or presentations. That's how afraid I was of it. I would literally look on, I don't know if you guys know of this, Ray, my professor. I would go on there and I would literally check to see if anybody mentions anything about presentations. I would literally look to see if someone says, oh, like this professor like has these projects and they do these presentations, and I would just avoid that class. I just could not do it. I couldn't do it. And I was just like, the more I gave into that fear of public speaking and just not participating in it and not doing anything about it, it just made me feel smaller and smaller every time. And I started to notice this affecting me even further, where I would be afraid to even speak to people in person. I would be afraid to just say something to someone in public, or afraid to make eye contact with someone, and just afraid to just live. So what went from a fear of public speaking ended up shrinking me, and making me feel small, to a point where I just felt so small where I couldn't even make conversation with someone in front of me because I was so self-conscious. So that is just one example of how fears will literally just make you feel small if you don't just decide to overcome them. What is another example? Let me think about another one. It's honestly not even, that is one of my biggest fears, but another small one. Actually, I don't know if I have an exact example right now, but just small things that I've been noticing where they're so small that you almost can dismiss them. And you can just say, oh, I don't want to do this right now, and kind of just come up with an excuse. But when you do that, when you say, oh, I don't feel like doing this thing or that thing because I don't want to feel like you feel a certain way about it, you just start to feel smaller and smaller as a person. You just start to feel smaller and smaller as a person. And literally that is what takes away your confidence. People think that confidence is in how you look, or in the things that you have or the things that you buy, but that is not what confidence is. Confidence comes from doing things repeatedly and becoming better at them. So when you're continuously just pretty much avoiding doing the things that you know you need to do or are making you feel smaller, you lose all the confidence and you lose a lot of self-esteem from this. So that is something I had to build over time with small things, with small decisions that I had to make, where I literally just felt an internal fear, and I was like, okay, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to just give in to this fear, and I'm going to you just decide in that moment and you just do it. And I used to think, oh my gosh, no, like you just have to decide and then do it. Yeah, that's how easy it is. Once you decide, you've already overcome a huge part of the fear, because you've just told yourself, this is what I'm going to do and I'm gonna make it happen. But when you're in a place of, oh no, like I don't know, should I do this? No, this is just too much. Like when I started this YouTube channel, I would be like, oh, like should I go live? Oh my gosh, what if I don't know what to say? What if there's like a huge pause? What if this and what if that? And it's just, your mind can come up with so many excuses in so many ways where you can fail, fail. I don't really think there is failure. I just think that you become better and better with each mistake that you make, or with each thing that you do. Even if it doesn't look perfect, it's okay. You just become better. But when you just don't try at all, it's just, you're not that's worse than just trying and getting it wrong. Because when you don't try at all, you just, again, shrink and shrink and shrink, and then you start to feel bad about yourself, and that isn't going to help anybody or you. I don't remember where I was going with this point, and I'm just gonna be honest here, because this is me literally overcoming my fear right now, and this is me just learning to do this and learning to do YouTube, and not allowing that fear to get in my way of doing what I need to do, because I know there's so much for me to share with you guys on here, and there is so much that I've learned over the past few years that I just want to continue to share, and I don't want to let this one fear become an obstacle in what I want to share on here. So I just wanted to come on here and say that whether it's big or small, you can overcome your fear by just making a decision and following through on this decision, regardless of whether how hard or easy it is. Honestly, making the decision in the first place is the hardest part, and then just following through once you have said yes to yourself that you're going to do this is so much easier. So I hope this was helpful to you guys, and I will see you in the next video, and have a beautiful night.